Wednesday to you, another edition of AH Live, and we are live in the studio somewhere outside of Los Angeles, California, and very excited to be with you for episode 92. And of course, we sadly lost Nick Colionne January 1st. There's been a lot of tears, a lot of heartache. He was a dear friend of mine and a huge supporter, a mentor. I know he was dear to all of us, but hopefully we can celebrate him today. His music and his legacy is just so profound. And I picked this song on purpose because it reminded me of him a little bit. It's one of my tunes. It's called Detroit, but it's just got that cool kind of vibe that Nick always had, whether it was through his music or his dress. Of course, we can't leave that out, but Nick was such a gem, and he was nice enough to come on this show in the middle of the lockdown, very early in AH Live, episode 20-something, and he could not have been more generous. We were on Zoom for like 90 minutes, so it was my job to try to can I cut this and make an interview out of it, and then of course we jammed on a tune as well, so I'm going to replay that in its entirety in just a few minutes, and it was so good looking back at that footage. He's just such a sweetheart and incredible guy. So we're celebrating Nick today, and we're gonna miss him. So we're celebrating Nick Colionne. Speaking of which, do us a favor, click share, because not only are we going to share this interview that we did with Nick about a year and a half ago, but we want to share the good vibes every Wednesday. So click share. Hopefully we'll get some more people tuning in, and they can find out about AH Live. And also don't forget to like Adam Holly Artist page or follow, and that way you can find out what's all going on. I'm hitting the road. We're kicking off the Rising Up 2022 tour this weekend. We're in Houston on Friday, and then we're in Fort Worth, Dallas area on Saturday. So if you're anywhere near those two cities, come on down. It's going to be fantastic, and I'll talk more about my tour schedule in a little bit. But we're going to kick it off with another tune. Kind of reminded me of Nick a little bit. It's another tune from my catalog. It's called On the One, and it's very guitaristic tune. Of course, I often collaborate with horn players, but this is all guitar. So I wanted to bring something that was very guitaristic to kick off the show. It's also Kat's favorite tune on the new record, and it's one of my favorite as well. So from Rising Up, this is On the One. Oh my goodness, we are just getting started on a Wednesday. That was On the One, off of my new album, Rising Up, and dedicating that to the one and only Nick Colionne. We're celebrating him today. As I mentioned, we're going to get over to that interview from about 18 months ago in just a moment, plus a special guitar duel between the two of us. But before we do that, just want to remind you guys, if you want to support the show, we make it real easy. Click the link in the description. It'll take you to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. You can also do stars through the Facebook portal, and you can also get to my website as well to grab any of the records. So appreciate you guys so much for keeping us going 92 weeks strong. Without further ado, the one and only Nick Colionne.
What's happening?
What's up, doctor?
Oh man, you're ready to go. You got the guitar.
Well, I was sitting there practicing, so I was like, well, I might as well keep it in my hand.
Hey man, I love it. And that's the signature model, right?
Oh yeah.
Man. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Hey man, thank you for having me, man. You know, I'm honored that you asked me.
Oh man, hey, this is the new tour, right? So
can't go nowhere else.
Well, man, I wanted to get a little backstory on you, and it's for my edification too. I did some research, and man, I did not know. And of course, we want to touch on your illustrious solo career, but I didn't realize, is this right? Connections with Staples singers and Curtis Mayfield?
Yep. I ran the whole gamut.
Wow, man, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, I went on the road with Staples singers when I was 15, man. You know.
Wow.
I had a little reputation around Chicago where, you know, people were. That's why sometimes you hear some of my friends refer to me as the kid, or I refer to myself as the kid. You know, yeah. It's like these old groups, you know, they would want somebody to play guitar, and they were like, yeah, let's go get that kid off the west side. You know, so get that kid off the west side, you know.
Wow. And so what year? I mean, I don't want to date you, but I mean, is this 70s, 80s?
Yeah, late 70s.
Late 70s. Wow, that's amazing. You said 15. Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you know, I went out there with them, and I met the impression they were looking for a guitar. My cousin had a bass player for them at the time. So I did road work with them. Did play some with the Shallites, play some with the Emotions. Just about all the groups who, you know, say a lot of the groups who actually were really big in the mid-60s and through the 70s, yeah. R&B that were out of the Chicago area. I got to get with a lot of them, did some recording, you know. So that was a learning experience within itself, you know, just being out there, and, you know, I learned things that I still use today. You know, I remember when I auditioned for the top spot in Staples Singers. I had a little group, and we had won some recording time. So we were at the studio. We were in the B studio, and they had in the A studio. And I got to talking to David, her sister, Cleo, at the concession pop machine. And I knew a guy to play with them, and they were like, yeah, we're looking for a guitar player. So I went up there and met Pops. And this was on a Monday. Never forget. So when I met him, I went back, got my guitar, came up. I knew a bunch of it. Played it. Tuesday, I went up to a rehearsal. Wednesday, I went on the road.
Wow, man, talk about a turnaround. Wow.
So, but you know, I learned a lot from Pop Staples. One of the main things that I really use today is that, you know, when we had our meeting, when he met with me, he's like, you never have to worry about getting paid. If the promoter don't pay the Staples singers, I got your money all the time. If I do that with my band, if I get paid or not, it don't matter. You getting paid, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I might have to take some cans to the place and sell them.
Right. Oh, man.
But it was good, you know, it was a good experience, it was a good learning experience. And, I figured they didn't get to where they were not knowing things. So I tried to do everything I could, and I got to be on some shows with some people who were really big at that time, like Al Green,
Wow.
That was amazing, because
Yeah.
he probably thought I was a woman hanging off it. I was hanging off the fire on the stage, watching them, thinking to myself, wow, look at them. I mean, women were losing their mind, and I was like thinking, boy, if I could do that, I knew not to give me that singing talent, because I probably went crazy. I remember when I first met you with Brian Culbertson,
Right. Yeah.
I was impressed. I was like, man,
Man.
this boy got some juice.
Oh man, you're too kind. And I have to say, man, you have been just supportive from the beginning I met you, man. You were just a sweetheart, and just like you said right now, just encouraging. And then when I, started making records, same thing. I was so pleasantly surprised because there's these, huge guitar icons like yourself and Norman Brown and George Benson. I've had the good fortune of meeting all of you, and you've all just been, man, come on, let's do this. And I think that's so refreshing, as opposed to like, don't step on my toes. So man, I mean, really appreciate it.
Well, I always feel it's not a competition, and we're not in competition, man. I'm about bringing the next cat up. It's like,
yeah.
If I see a dude, and I think he got some juice, I tell him, tell him all, man. If there's anything I can help you, let me know. I can't do much, but what I do, I will spread your name around and all that stuff, and when I see you, I'm gonna tell you, hey, you're doing good, because I have a pride in knowing people. I'm like, okay, yeah, I watched him come through, because when I first heard your first record, I was like, just listening, I didn't know who it was. I looked over at the this boy, they made a record.
Oh man, yeah, no, it was. Well, speaking of which, that's a perfect segue, because I wanted to touch on your first record, and aptly titled "It's My Turn." Please touch on that.
Well, actually, it wasn't by choice. It was, but because I was in a group here in Chicago, and there was 3 of us. Now, won't say the names, to protect the innocent and the guilty, but they kept writing songs saying they wanted to record, but they didn't want to listen to none of my stuff. So the bass player had a studio. Man, why don't you come out and record something, And so I went out there and I recorded like 4 songs, and I was like, man, I had no idea what was going to happen. Then I met Carol Ray, who became my manager. I sent my stuff to a radio station on a cassette.
Oh.
And they called me back and they were like, hey, you got CDs? I was like, no. I have them soon. When I got the CD, man, they put it right on the radio, just like that. Everybody in Chicago never get played on the radio here. They went on, and but I titled the record "It's My Turn" because, like, man, I've been looking at people's backs my whole. Like, it's my turn to stand in the front and look silly for a change, But well, I found out it was a lot different, as you had found out yourself.
Yeah.
In the back, you just playing, you just playing. Now all of a sudden, you guys start entertaining people.
Yeah.
And I did a gig in Milwaukee when I first started my solo career, and Lou Ross came to my gig.
Wow.
And he talked to me in the back, and in the dressing room, he's like, let me explain something to you. He's like, you get your entertaining skills together. I was like, okay. Entertaining. He's like, I'm gonna leave this with you. Musicians make money, entertainers get rich.
Wow.
So I was like, did my best as an entertainer, but I ain't rich yet.
Right.
So part. you know.
No, it's been an incredible ride watching you throughout the years, and I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We were 94 with your debut. I want to get to 2016 because you have the distinction. I think it's unparalleled. 5 consecutive #1 hits on Billboard, and you had this album, The Journey. Just man. I thought I was doing something because my debut album came out in 2016, and then you dropped this. I was like, "Oh my goodness, man! Why you hurting us, man?"
Hey, well, nobody no more surprised than me. You know, after we got the second #1, I was like, "Okay, that's it." You know, now I'm gonna start making another record.
Yeah.
And then the record company says, "Well, we're gonna release another single." I was like, "Really?" You know. Okay. You know how third singles can be, you know. Third singles keep you alive on radio. But it went to #1. I was like, interesting. But now I know I got to make another record because there's 3. I was like, they ain't going to play 4 records for me. And they say, oh man, we found another record. We're going to do this one. Okay, maybe you all know something more than I know, but they dropped that one and then went to #1, and I'm like, okay, this can't keep happening. And you know, you sitting around like, I can't believe I got 4 singles, you know. And Kim Waters came up to me in Rehoboth. He's like, man, you got 4 #1s. I was like, can you believe it? He was like, no. I was like, me neither.
Man.
When they dropped that 5th one, and people started calling me, you know, radio promoters, and they were like, congratulations, Mr. #1. I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, you know, because, you know, the chart don't come out until, it's like, yeah, you're going to be #1 with this new single.
Wow.
I was like, okay, somebody made a mistake, you know. But, you know, after that, I told the record company, I was like, don't expect me to do that again.
Man, it's so much fun talking to you, but we got to get to the music, and you were nice enough to let me jump on this tune of yours, How Sweet It Is, and man, it's always daunting doing a remake, but you managed to do your own thing, pay homage to the original, but then do your own thing, which is what we're all trying to do. Man, just tell us a little bit about the backstory of doing this song.
Well, you know, my producer is basically Big Dog, right?
Yeah.
Chris. He'll come up with an idea, and I'll be thinking like, yeah, he done lost his mind again. So like, Chris, you know, I don't like to do remakes. You know, he's like, nah, Nick Colionne, it's gonna be good, man. We're gonna knock this out the park. You know? And we started on it, and I was amazed how it came out, you know. I mean, you know, I had guitar players calling me, you know. Tim Bowman called me up, man, I'm loving this, man. I was like, okay, you know. So, you know, I said, well, we did something right, you know,
Yeah.
but the arrangements Big Dog put behind me, man, crazy, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, want to have one of those just move, you know, and lay it back old school, you know, and, you know, just let it ride, you know, not try to play a whole bunch of woo, but just, you know, just let it walk, you know. Thinking about my mother and father trying to dance, you know.
It was an honor to play on this track. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy How Sweet It Is by Nick Colionne and a guest appearance by yours truly.
Yeah.
Man, Nick, what an honor to jump on that track, man. Let me thank you for letting me do just a little bit of trading with you and vibing with you, man. Really fun.
Man, I enjoyed playing with you, and it amazes me, man. I've watched you come up and stuff you play, man, and I'm like, he got juice. I said it in the beginning when I first told my boy, I was like, hey, he got juice. We'll be hearing from him.
Man, you're too kind. It's a huge compliment, and I appreciate it, man. And real quick, before we get out of here, please let people know where they can find you online, social media, etc.
Well, you can find me online at, NickColionne.com for one. Facebook, Nick Colionne. Instagram, Nick Colionne.
All right.
MySpace, Nick Colionne. Some people that haven't came up until the 21st. And so I'm on all social media, and I have a website. I have 3 or 4 pages. You can go Nick Colionne or Nick Colionne fan pages or whatever. Stop by, say hello, hit up, give us a like, and remember my new CD is called Finger Paint.
Awesome. Well, Nick, thank you so much, man, and really appreciate you taking the time.
Hey, man.
Oh, it was so nice to go back and look at that footage, and it's been a while. That was an episode in the 20s, so I had kind of forgotten about how sweet he is. I mean, I know we did it, but that was pretty special to trade some licks with Nick. So we're going to miss you, Nick, and glad we at least got a chance to pay tribute tonight on AH Live. So you guys know what time it is. It's time to bring in my lovely wife, Kat, with the Cat Cam. Hey,
hi.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Well, I'm doing very good, and just enjoying these memories of Nick. He was just the best, and we were just hanging with him in November. So at least we got to have that time.
Exactly.
We were there, I think, 3-4 days. So at the Florida Smooth Jazz weekend. So yeah.
I know, and so many people are saying, I can't believe he's gone. Because just like us, a lot of people just saw him on the road, whether it be just last month or like October, September, in the summertime.
Yeah, I know he had a show in Texas in late November, I want to say. So I know some people saw him there. I think it was in Galveston. So, yeah, we're going to miss him. But, it's definitely nice to at least, go back and cherish these memories. So what are people saying out there? What are the vibes?
Well, the vibes, of course, are just missing Nick. But it's like very kind of like happy. And then kind of in a way like cool, because Nick was always happy and cool.
Yeah.
Just super chill all the time. Could always make you laugh. And kind of like no cares in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
And he always had a joke about something, even though if he was like serious,
right?
He made it like funny.
Yeah.
So some people, let me see. I can't remember who it. Oh, here it is. A lot of people were saying, "Thank you so much, Adam, for doing this and paying tribute to Nick."
No, it's the least we can do.
So many people love that. James E. Queer said, thank you, Adam, for doing this interview. We'll always remember this. During your interview with Nick, and you guys started playing the song, and Nick would always say, like, sing along with me. And then Nicole Caselli said, as Nick would also say, and if you don't know the words, then just hum along.
Right, exactly.
It's so cute.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's a really cute one. I might have to pay tribute to that whenever I'm on stage and telling people to sing along.
No, it's a great line.
It's a great line. And then, of course, during the interview, so many people were just loving watching it again and just saying how nice it was to see him and to hear his voice, of course, to hear him play, and then to see all of his guitars lined up behind him. It's super cool. Joseph England said he has such a rich history in music. So many people
100%.
loved his stories. Janet Rollins said this is really special having this show dedicated to Nick. And I didn't grab the name who wrote this, but they said No one has a smile like Nick.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. No, he just lit up the stage and on and off stage. I mean,
On
he
and
was,
off.
he was just a bright star. And so, yeah.
I know.
So,
So
yeah.
sweet. And then so many people also loved your opening to the show, your personal tribute, playing for Nick.
On the One. Yeah, I was trying to think of what tune of mine. I usually start off the show with a tune in my catalog, and that one came to mind because it was just very guitaristic. No horns. It's all about the guitar on that track, and it just reminded me of him and how he would just command the stage and command all of his records. So
Yeah.
And
that's like my favorite song.
I like it too. So thank
My
you.
favorite song. Denise Walters says, I love this song too.
Oh,
On the
appreciate
One.
it. On the One.
When you were playing, Gary Fuston said, in the zone. Chris Knox Jr. said, play on Adam, my man.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
And we have some of our friends watching. Steve Hall is watching
Hey, Steve.
every week. I see you. Hey, Steve. How's it going?
Mastering engineer extraordinaire.
Yes. And it's 6 a.m. right now for Isabella in Dubai. And she's here
Thank you.
watching with us as she does every week. And then is it the same 6 a.m. In London for you, Cece? I can't remember.
I think it might be a little bit earlier.
It might be a little earlier.
3 a.m. somewhere
Really?
in there.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Wow.
So they're either staying up late or getting up early. I'm not
Right.
sure which. But either way, thank you.
Exactly.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. And it's Charlene, I want to say Beeman, watching from Chicago.
Oh, Chi-Town.
Chi-Town.
In the
and
house.
then we have a couple of birthdays in the house today.
Yeah.
So it's our friend and our neighbor, Lori Erickson's birthday.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey,
Happy
neighbor.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
And it's also Michelle Donwin's birthday.
Oh, all right. Happy birthday, Michelle. Awesome.
So happy birthday, you guys.
Thanks for hanging with us for your
Thanks
birthday.
for
We're
hanging with
honored.
us. What are you guys drinking? Or as Cecil would have
Yeah.
said, what's in the glass? Are you
Yeah.
guys drinking anything? Let us know.
He had a great saying too. What was it? The best wine is the one in your glass.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, that is too funny.
Cece said, no, it's 2:37 a.m. Oh,
Oh
my
my
gosh.
goodness.
Well, thank you so much
You're
for
so
staying
sweet.
up for
Thank
us.
you. That's wild.
Yes. And then Lori says, Brea in the house.
Brea.
Brea. Michael Brown. Hey, Mike and Crystal.
Hey.
He says frigid Jersey is in the house. Is it frigid right now?
That's funny.
Deborah Kenton. Thank you. Kat does look beautiful with those pretty red lips. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Kat also has a kind of a leopard print, green leopard print. So
Green leopard. Yeah. You sound like Marcus now. Marcus
No, he
always
always-
does that
he always
cat
goes,
purr when
meow.
Yeah, he does do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of
he's
times
so
when
funny.
when I get off the phone, Marcus, he says, and tell Kat. Meow. Oh my
And my
goodness.
good friend Stephanie Ramirez is watching. Hi,
Oh,
Steph.
all right. Hey,
How
Steph.
you doing? And I saw that picture. This is to Stephanie. I saw that picture earlier today on Facebook of she and her husband from 1987.
Oh.
That was the year I was born, and you guys were looking cute all on the beach.
All right. I like it. I
so
like
cute.
it. That is too funny. Too funny. I saw Robert Zahn was asking about San Antonio. Unfortunately, San Antonio was a COVID casualty. That venue was through the city. And as you know, anything that's run by the city, they've got ordinances and, of course, with COVID. So we're looking for a rescheduled date. So stay tuned. Of course, I will let you know as soon as we have a new date. But in the meantime, let me throw up the schedule here. We do have a couple of new dates already. Just from last week. So definitely we're starting off this week Sugar's Cajun in Houston and Downtown Cowtown in Fort Worth. So hope to see y'all there this weekend in Texas. Spaghettini sold out. So sorry, but hope you got your tickets. Then we'll be in Irving, Texas, February 11th. That's a Valentine's show. This is brand new on the schedule. Blues Boulevard in Greenville, South Carolina. That's a Friday night. So hope to see y'all there. That is our debut at Blues Boulevard. Very cool club. Then we'll be at Tin Pan in Richmond the day after. Mobile, that's a new show. That's March 6th. And I'm so honored to do that show. Nick actually was supposed to do that show, so I will be doing my best to fill some very big shoes in Mobile, March 6th. And what else is new? Middle C is now on the 17th. That's 1 week later, so grab your tickets. That's our debut in Charlotte. That's a Sunday night. And I think everything else has been on here for a few weeks. You can always go to adamhawley.com and find out more about the shows that are coming up. So we got a bunch. There's 30 on the books, a bunch more tentatives. I think we're going to hit 60 this year. I'm calling it. 60 dates for 2022. So we hope to see y'all out on the road.
So many people are letting me know what they're drinking, and I see a lot of Pinot Noirs. I love Pinot Noirs.
Okay.
So you guys are drinking good
I like
tonight.
Pinot Noir, although I tend to go for a cab first.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
But if there's not a cab, I will always
Yes.
enjoy a Pinot.
So a cab first. If there isn't one available, or if the one is not very tasty, then
Yeah.
I'll go to a Pinot.
but I enjoy a good Pinot too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys are so sweet. So many people are asking right now and saying, I hope that Kat is feeling better. And also I got emails and Facebook messages and Instagram messages, just people asking how myself and Adam Jr. have been doing, recovering from COVID. Thank you guys so much. And then I had a few people ask specifically like what happened. And then a few people asked, how did Adam Jr. and I get sick and then not you and Grammy? So
it's interesting.
So first, as we said, Adam Jr. caught it from basketball. He woke up, I believe it was, I don't remember what day, but he just woke up and was like, I'm really tired, and he started coughing. We weren't really alarmed because he has allergies and severe allergies and like moderate asthma. And so like coughing and kind of waking up with nasal congestion is kind of like the norm. So, but when there's any type of symptoms, we would always test just to make sure. So I tested him with our home kits and he was negative. So we just started giving him some of his inhaler, doubled up on his nasal spray, and then of course, using his nebulizer for breathing treatments. It helped so, not as much as it should have. The next day he still was coughing, and then he had some nasal congestion, but like his nose was just running like water. And then later in the evening, he said he felt weird. He felt hot and cold at the same time. So instantly I knew, okay, he has a fever. And in the back of my mind, I was like, he has COVID, because there's no other reason why, he would be running a fever.
Yeah.
So I checked his temp. It was 102. So I got another test from the pantry and tested him again, and it was positive. But what we did to keep everyone else safe is we all just started wearing masks in the house. Adam Jr. was, set to the furthest couch of the living room or in his room. And then the next day I started feeling bad. My chest started hurting, my upper back, like between my shoulder blades, which were my lungs, started hurting. My neck was like really achy. And then my throat felt just really weird. It wasn't hurting or itchy. It felt like someone was like, just like pushing on it with their hand. But I had tested myself and it was negative. And then the next day, my nose started running just like Adam Jr.'s was. And it was like running like a faucet. I couldn't breathe. No type of decongestant was working. And then, of course, I was coughing as well. And just with like the chest pain, and I could feel the phlegm just rattling right here every time I would breathe or cough. And for the longest time, we just thought it was my asthma as well, because that particular week, it was raining all week here where we are. But I was like, you know what? I just need to test myself again. So this particular time when I tested myself, I swabbed my throat, and then I swabbed my nasal canal, and then it was positive. So I was quarantined to my bedroom. Adam stayed downstairs. Grammy stayed to her room. Adam and Grammy were bringing food up to Adam Jr. and I to our doors, and like we would text and call each other in the house. But I honestly think if I wasn't vaccinated and boosted, I would have had to go to the hospital, especially with my RA. And I'm still dealing with like major fatigue. The past couple of days I've been just exhausted, just kind of like falling asleep random times in the day and just really tired. But and then my mom, she just had some random antibiotic in her stash of medicine and some prednisone that she had on hand. So Adam Jr. and I had shared the prednisone for about 4 to 5 days, and then I had taken some of her antibiotic, which was for what, I don't know, but you know, desperate times call for desperate needs. And so yeah, so I feel like if I didn't have that, if I wasn't vaccinated, then it would have been really scary, because it easily could have turned into COVID pneumonia. And I had that pounding COVID headache just for days. It felt like a moving entity. Like it would, the pain would be in the back of my head, and then I would feel a wave of nausea. Then the pain would be like behind my ears. Then another wave of nausea, it would go away. Then like my temples would start hurting. Like it just was insane. And I could not believe that this was supposed to be mild symptoms. And so yeah, so we just, you know, stayed separated, wore masks. There were times where Adam Jr. and I would go downstairs to eat dinner, but again, we would sit on the furthest side of the living room, and everything that we used, it was either like paper or plastic. If it was like plates, like glass plates or a glass, we would spray it with alcohol or Lysol before it was washed. And my mom would put a splash of bleach in the dishwater to wash the dishes. And if we got up to go to the bathroom downstairs or upstairs, we'd wipe or spray everything down when we come out. So it's really about just like kind of containing everything and not letting it spread throughout the house. So it is possible to, for one person in the household to have COVID, or a few people and then other people don't. But you kind of have to, you know, do things the right way. But we're doing much better. But just with some of the other stuff, and I've been kind of having like some kidney pain. So I just chalk that up to COVID, because, you know, COVID tries to attack every single organ of your body. And so I went to the urgent care on Sunday morning to get some antibiotics for that. And but yeah, I mean, we're vaccinated and boosted, but so many people use that as like a false sense of security, like they're just going to be fine. But you can still catch COVID even vaccinated. It's just very unlikely that you would be extremely ill to have to go to the hospital. So but thank you guys so much for checking in on us. And there's the story of what happened.
and there's the story.
And I think I caught it from Adam Jr. because I remember when he was coughing, I had given him a hug and I kissed him on the cheek, like, oh, I hope you feel better. And when I had told Adam, he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, you kind of leaned right into that one.
Oh, man. But fortunately, once again, we lucked out. It was during we did miss our vacation. But other than that, it was during a down period in terms of travel and whatnot. So, so yeah, we're coming to you, lock, stock, and barrel. We fly out tomorrow, and we'll be in Houston Friday, Fort Worth Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're very excited, and also we've got some pictures to share. We've got a lot. There's always something going on. Kat has been continuing to decorate, and we got a package all the way from, was it Poland?
It was from Poland, yes.
Bam, there it is. They showed up. I was like, what is in the world is on our doorstep?
This was like a week ago, right when I started feeling better from COVID. And there was, it was such a hassle trying to get this through customs to the U.S. It sat in the customs warehouse at FedEx in Indianapolis, I believe, and for, I want to say, almost 10 days. And I had to keep emailing people and calling people and sending in forms and sending emails. It just was insane. And I was like, am I ever going to get this table? They're just going to send it back. You know?
And it's just some wood. Yeah. But there it is.
There it is.
In the flesh.
So this is handmade reclaimed wood. And these were beams that were once used in a salt mill in Poland.
Yeah. And
if you see, the maker told me, like, if we see spots of white periodically, then that's just the salt that's just been sitting in iodized for, you know, years and years and years. And it just really gives it like a beautiful rustic and just like a reclaimed look. It's gorgeous.
Either that or they're trying to have an excuse for not cleaning it.
Oh, be quiet. So there it is in the hallway. Yeah, it's so cute. I have to find a spot to put our our alarm pad there.
Yeah, that's our
but
little,
it's gonna find a new spot.
Interface for ADT.
And so right now,
I think this is the walk through the hallway,
yeah,
right?
I'm trying to figure out different pieces to put in the hallway, and then of course to decorate that wall, and then on the console table. So there's just a bunch of stuff there that I'll be playing with and seeing what works.
Yeah, that's not the final. It's not going to be like a
final.
It's not like we're it looks like a street fair, like we're selling items or something.
Right. So what I do a lot of the times is when I'm at the store shopping for pieces, I'll just grab a few different things that I feel that would work, and then of course, you know, you have to get home and kind of see like what sizing and what really speaks to you, what works with other colors and whatnot. So yeah, so when we get back from the road next week, if I feel up to it, then we'll be doing all that, and I'll send you pictures of the finished product.
100%.
Adam walked downstairs when all the stuff was there, and he's like, it's starting to look like Anthropologie
Yeah,
in here.
it does.
If you don't know Anthropologie, it's a huge store. They sell everything from clothes, makeup, skincare, furniture, home accessories, and jewelry, and it's very like modern bohemian. And so,
It's very much a store you would like to spend a day in, and I would like to spend as little time as possible. It's got that incense smell and everything. So.
it does.
And then little Adam has been back at it at basketball. We've got live footage of him doing some of his drills. This is so crazy. I can never do this. I mean, I guess I could practice.
So yeah, so this is him going forward. Now he's going backward. Getting the control of the ball. Yeah.
Oh, he almost dropped it there.
So here's he's doing some drills. And didn't make that one. Coach Joseph was like, nah. So he's showing some players, explaining it to him. Now he's trying to win.
The runner.
Just let your coach know, let me know, you know, take a break.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I feel fine. So yeah, it just, you know, everyone is different. And if people keep saying kids bounce back, yada, 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 it doesn't really matter how old you are or what you have. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to COVID or what it does to, you know, certain people. So he kind of had a harder time recovering with his fatigue. Like we were saying last week, he would just sleep for hours and hours and hours. Adam would open his door and check if he was breathing, you know. So I was just really worried with him going back to intense, you know, activity right after. And but he's been doing good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Definitely. So it's been
Definitely.
busy. It's been a busy last couple weeks, and we're excited to come to you in Texas this weekend. And yeah, we're gonna keep it rolling. We're getting the Rising Up tour starting. We're starting the
Up
bus
tour.
this weekend. Well, hey, we'll have to get. I saw a bunch of Ask Adams
I
pop up, but
know.
we're gonna have to get to it next week. We had
Okay.
such an action-packed episode.
Can we
So-
do just one because
Okay,
it's
go for it.
pertaining to Nick?
Okay.
So Carla in Denver. Hey, Carla. She says, what's your favorite memory of Nick? And the rest we can get to next week.
Oh gosh, that's so hard.
I know.
There's so many, but you know, I met him he mentioned in the interview too, we met at the Napa Valley Jazz Getaway, so it was definitely cool meeting him there at Brian Culbertson's festival, and I played for him. This is well before any of my records came out. So I was in the house band with Brian, and we played for a bunch of artists, including Nick, and it was definitely a treat, you know, playing with him and connecting, and I guess my main memory is what I mentioned in the interview. Is just I just was so taken aback at how supportive he was, and there wasn't any inkling of another guitar player. He's like, man, pull it for you, and he would anytime we were together, like at a festival, and the promoter was there of that event, he would immediately start complimenting me and talking me up to the promoter. There was no like, let me try to claim my territory. So just a super giving, encouraging, and generous guy, and talented. And I mean, we could go on and on with the superlatives, but I just remember that warmth and that support. So that's my favorite memory of him.
I think mine is most recent when we just saw him in November.
Yeah.
And we were sitting kind of in a group with people, and people always ask Adam and I, oh, you guys have been married for so long and you seem so happy, what's your secret? And I said, well, I said, a lot of people think that it's really, a lot of things. I said, but one of my biggest things is how to feed me. When I'm hungry, he knows when I'm hungry, and then he knows like what type of food I would want. And then Nick was like, that's all you need. He's like, all you gotta do is feed her. And it just was so funny, and we all just were laughing, and it was just so funny.
That was the other thing too. He was just so quick. He was so quick-witted. He always had like some sort of little saying, or just put a little spin on things. And so it's just a lot of laughs. I think that's my favorite memory too.
Yes,
it's just
but
a lot of
we
laughs.
will miss Nick so much, but he definitely will be with us forever through his music and
100%.
his quick wits and his Stacey Adams.
And he's got a new record. From what I heard, it was either done or almost done. So they're going to figure that out, and we at least get another record out of Nick. So very excited for that. So stay tuned.
Yes.
So, well, thank you so much, honey. All right, we'll see Kat next week. And also next week, we are going to finally do the Philip Doc Martin episode. That one didn't go off. We had some technical challenges about a month ago when we were on the road, and the Facebook premiere, I had uploaded the episode, but then it didn't play. So we are going to finally see that. It is brand new, never before seen interview and performance with Philip Doc Martin from the DMV. So tune in next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then we are going to go out on another high note because we're celebrating Nick. I wanted to go out on a high note, and we're going to do my track to the top. It was Song of the Year in 2020. Hope you enjoy. our tribute to the one and only Nick Colionne today. Tune in next week for the one and only Philip Doc Martin. See you next Wednesday.
Oh.